You worked for years to become a doctor, yet deep down, you still feel like you don't belong, like you're not as good as everyone thinks you are. That sounds familiar? Stick with me because this video's for you. By the end, you'll know exactly how to silence that inner doubt. You'll learn practical, science-backed strategies to feel confident in your role. And most importantly, you'll see that you're not alone. Imagine walking into every shift without second-guessing yourself. No more feeling like you need to prove your worth every single day. No more fear that someone will find out you don't deserve to be here. Instead, you trust yourself. You own your expertise. That's where we're headed today. I'm Dr. Ben. I'm a pediatric cardiologist and physician coach. I have worked with countless physicians battling this exact issue, and I get it because I've been there too. I know what it's like to achieve everything you worked for, only to feel like somehow you got here by luck, and that someone's going to figure out that you really just don't belong. But here's what I realized. This phenomenon, imposter syndrome, isn't about ability. It's about perception, and that means you can change it. Here's the hard truth. Imposter syndrome doesn't fade over time. It grows if you don't address it, because the more you achieve, the more you feel like you need to keep up the act. You hesitate before speaking up in meetings. You feel guilty for taking credit for your success. You compare yourself to your colleagues and convince yourself that you're not enough. And that doubt, it affects your career, your confidence, even your relationship with patients in your field. But the good news is, imposter syndrome isn't a sign that you're not good enough. It's a sign that you care, that you're pushing your limits. And with the right tools, you can shift your mindset starting today. Now, here are the strategies to overcome imposter syndrome. Strategy 1, reframe your doubt as proof of growth. I heard a story about a young doctor, Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell was in her first year as an attending physician. She had the skills, the knowledge, and years of training, but every time she walked into a patient's room, she felt like a fraud. One day, an older attending pulled her aside and said, "Dr. Mitchell, do you remember the first time you tried to ride a bike? How did you feel?" She laughed, terrified. "I thought I'd fall." "And what happened?" he asked. "Well, I fell a few times, but I kept going." He nodded. Exactly. That fear didn't mean you weren't capable. It meant you were learning something new. In that moment, Dr. Mitchell realized her doubt wasn't a weakness. It was proof that she was growing. And that's the truth for all of us. Doubt doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're stepping outside your comfort zone. Just like building muscle at the gym, discomfort is a sign of building strength. Every experienced doctor has doubted themselves at some point. The difference? Those that continue don't let the doubt stop them. Strategy 2, keep a reality file. Your brain is wired to remember failures more than successes, so you have to fight back with proof. Here's one strategy that I've worked with a coaching client. I had them keep a folder in their office. Inside this folder, there's every thank you letter that they've ever received from patients. And then after a particularly rough day, filled with self-doubt, head in hands, when you're worried about the decisions you made, open the folder, take a look at a letter, and realize all of the great things that you've done with the talents that you have. In those moments, you can realize self-doubt is lying to you. It's tricking you. You aren't an imposter. You're a doctor who have helped people. So start your own reality file. Collect those thank you notes, positive patient feedback, and messages from colleagues who appreciate you. And when that voice in your head says you don't deserve to be here, open that file and look at the proof. Because you didn't get lucky, you earned this. Strategy 3, separate feelings from facts. Another coaching client of mine, Dr. Reynolds, has been practicing for over a decade. But every time that he faced a complex case, he panicked. He told himself, "I don't know enough. What if I make the wrong call? What if I make a mistake?" One day, a mentor told him, and we worked on this, just because you feel uncertain doesn't mean that you're unqualified. We worked on starting a new habit. Whenever he doubted himself, he wrote down his achievements. Medical school, completed. Residency, completed. Board exams, passed. Hundreds of patients treated successfully. And then he looked at the list. Cold, hard facts. Not emotions, not fears, facts. And so then he used that list. Every time he realized that he looked at it, he realized he earned his place. So the next time you feel doubt creeping in, write down what you've accomplished, because your mind plays tricks on you, but facts don't lie. Strategy 4, speak to yourself like you would a colleague. Would you ever tell a fellow doctor, "You don't belong here"? No. I don't think you would. So why do you say it to yourself? Imagine you're mentoring a young physician who's feeling like an imposter. What would you tell them? Would you tell them they don't deserve to be there? Of course not. You would remind them of how far they've come, of how hard they've worked, of how much they've learned. Now shift that lens and talk to yourself that way. Next time self-doubt creeps in, asks, "If my colleague said this about themselves, what would I tell them?" Then say that to yourself. You'd be amazed at how quickly this changes your inner dialogue. Imposter syndrome feels like a personal flaw, but it's not. It's just a mental habit and an internal perception. And habits and perceptions can be changed. The most successful physicians aren't the ones who've never doubted themselves. They're the ones who recognize the doubt, but don't let it define them. So today, you have a choice. Let doubt control your career or take back your confidence, because you do belong here. If this resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Repost it so another physician can hear this message. And drop a comment below. Let me know what's one way you've used to deal with self-doubt in your career. Let's start a conversation and support each other to let each other know that we're not alone. I'm Dr. Ben, and I'll see you in the next video.